Welcome everyone to another episode of Bruvcast.
Welcome everyone. I'm Mick.
I'm Raj. How's it going?
I'm good, bro. You alright?
Yeah, man. Good.
Raj is tired.
I am. I told Mick just before we started, I was like, bruv, yeah, I'm a little bit tired, yeah. So you're gonna have to carry if I'm starting like to fail it or flail on it.
So it's all good, man. It's all good. It's this is 2 episodes back to back in quick succession. So and it's 9 o'clock in the evening.
It's 9 p.m. Yeah.
So Raj's little princess has tired him out today.
She has, man. She's going through. So apparently there's this thing called leaps. I don't know if you've heard about these things, but leaps are like these like progression stages in development of like young babies. And apparently she's going through one of those, which is why she's a little bit more cranky than usual. But
actually, do you know what? Every time you mention these new terms, new terms after a long time, it takes a while for the brain to register those terms. And now once you explain it and dumb it down for me, actually, I'm like, okay, no. I do remember what leaps are now. Bro. It all comes back. No, fair play. Yeah, man. You know what? I feel like it's such a long time ago now. I know it isn't. It's not really, but it just feels that way. Like, if someone handed me a baby to hold, I'd be bugging out these days.
Really?
Like, I don't know. It'll take a while to. You know what? Now, imagine you doing it every day for X amount of number of months, right? Until they can sit on their own, sit without having a backrest. So that's it. From that point onwards, they want to be kind of left alone, right? But if you handed me a baby right now, I'd be like, how is it? You're training your mind again, I think to mothers, maybe it comes more natural. But I ain't changed a nappy in a while. So let's see, man. I'm sure I'll be twiddling.
Oh, don't worry, bro. You're coming over tomorrow.
I know, bro.
So,
I know.
If you want to, see if your memory still serves you, then I'm more than happy to give you an opportunity to.
Do you know what? Let's see, innit? Let's see. Knowing because it's your child, she'll probably be ready, bro.
She'll have it. She'll have it ready for you, bro. She'll walk in the door and she'll start
ready. But yeah, man. I mean, do you know what? I've noticed a lot of a spring in every man's step this weekend. Why do you think that is, bro?
Well, we all know why that is, bruv. It's back, innit? The football's back, bruv. The football is back.
Do you know what? It's like I've seen football shirts. I've seen people at Ikea being helpful to one another because they want to get back home in time for the game, obviously, right? I mean, I saw two vans. Yeah, we went to Ikea today. And I said to the missus,
obviously,
I said the precedent, right, on Friday. Look, I was like, look, the kids aren't here. Is it okay if I watch the match? But when I mean watch the match, I mean not watch it from minute 1 to minute 90. I mean watch the coverage, then watch it minute 1 to 90. The highlights, everything. Yeah. She's like, babe, the kids aren't here. Do what you want. And
wow.
But then she said, but you know what? We need to make sure we do the desks, we do all this, bro. I put together 3 desks, put everything together yesterday, and then today was the dump yard trip to dump out the cardboard boxes, and then it was okay. Let's get to Marks Spencer and Ikea. I saw men, like I said, right. I saw people in just trying to get home, right. And I saw 2 people from one was supporting Chelsea, one was supporting Liverpool, right? And they were helping each other. They didn't know each other, yeah. But I was next to them, parked in the bay, and they were helping each other load their cars, yeah. When I went to get something, what happened, dude? Yeah, this is typical, isn't it? Yeah, Mrs. goes, oh, once we were done with the initial stuff in Ikea, she's like, do you want to just go around quickly? Like, do you want to go around?
Nah, bro.
I was like, we've got a lot to do in an hour, yeah. And she's like, just look at some plants and stuff. And I was like, you know what? It's like speaking to a ref where you got a yellow card. You don't want to say any more because you know you're going to get red, yeah. So you're like, you say as much as you can, and then you're like, okay, maybe I've crossed the line now. She's losing her patience. So I was like, let's go, innit? Let's just go have a look around. And then we ended up buying like plants, right? And the plant, it's like you go to. See, she's asking my opinion. Like, what would you think of this plant? Do you think this will go? Dude, I have no idea about plants. Yeah, I've only become interested in plants since I came to Raj's house because he's got all these plants. Yeah, opening, closing. They do mad things. Yeah, and then I was like, you know what? I said to her, look, let's get those 2 plants that you think are going to look right, in these 2 areas. And she's like, okay, cool. I was like, are we done now? We picked the plants. Are we done now? She's like, yeah, but we need plant pots now. And I was like,
oh, allow it, bro.
Anyway, we got the plant pots. Then we move on. She's like, but you wanted these, do you want some picture frames? And I was like, oh, yeah, I do want picture frames. And I was like, no, we'll get them next time. I was like, I don't want to come back here. So I was like, okay, let's go. Grab them up, paid for everything. And then we're like on the way to Marks and Spencer to do the food shop. And it just turned, you know what? It's never 5 minutes to look for stuff. Like, I feel like women have to get the right thing. Like, it's got to be, I was like, my opinion should not matter, right? And to be fair, like, it was like candles and things like that. And I was like, she's like, have a smell of this. What do you think? I was like, yeah, both fine. Laylo. You know what, yeah? I knew what was going to happen. The kickoff was at 4:30, and I said I wanted to watch the game from 4 o'clock. Yeah, dude, we got home. It was already 5 minutes past kickoff, bro. Yeah, I was like, man, there it goes, isn't it? Why does that happen? Why does that happen? Yeah, that you try to plan, you try to time something, to the T, and you've got plenty of time, and then somehow these trips to IKEA and I know I wasn't the only one going for it. Yeah, there was so many
mans sweating in the queue at IKEA.
We're gonna make it. IKEA is the worst place to go before.
No, that's the worst. That's the worst. Nah, bro. You don't go IKEA if you have anything else to do that day. Do not go to IKEA. If you have a leisurely day and you want to kind of like kill time, then go to the only way you can get away with it is if you do that click and collect, where you just rock up and load and bounce. If you get caught in the maze, you ain't getting out, bro. 45 minutes of your life is gone.
To be fair, her idea of not getting caught in the maze was, let's go backwards, so we only go to the little bits. You know, after you come down the ramp and it's the little bits that in pieces.
Bruv, if you're still going in the maze, bruv, when you're going backwards, sideways, or upside down, bruv, you're going in the maze. You're going back into IKEA. It's designed to stop you from seeing the exit.
It's true. It's so true. We still ended up, getting the plants and getting everything, and now I've got more DIY to do. You know what the thing is, though? Good. And I said, I said to her, you had me for 8 weeks. Because, ladies, for all our listeners, if you're married and you've got a husband that likes football, you've got them for 8 weeks, From the moment the season finishes, which is May, till about August. That's 8 weeks,
Get everything done.
But then obviously people have kids, right? So then they've got their kids and their husband for 8 weeks. So it's kind of like a damage limitation, isn't it? Yeah, man. I was thinking about it today. I was like, 8 weeks, just to get everything that you want done, and we wait to the trip. It's like transfer deadline day. It just feels that way. Like you're trying to get everything done in one in one hit, man. But let me ask you a question. Why is it? Why does football and sports make a man feel that way?
Like what?
Like, it's like, bro, it makes you feel like it's your birthday, bro. When your team is playing on live on Sky Sports, you're like, do you get that feeling where you're like, you know what? Until the game starts, you like, at least I've got that to look forward to. At least that's going to be Why?
I don't know, man. I think there's a couple of reasons that I think that is the case. One, to be blunt, is it's escapism from your reality. Right, like you can go away and you can watch some sports, whether it's football, cricket, whatever it is, and just kind of be absorbed in the drama, in like the spectacle of the game. The second one is, I think it's like people like to be part of communities or something that's bigger than themselves, and if you're following a football club, then obviously that's a massive community, and that's something that you can kind of completely get engrossed in. You feel a part of it, even if you're walking down the street and you see another person with the same shirt on, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's my lot, it's one of my people. It's a complete stranger, right? But there's some kind of connection that you have with that person because you follow the same football club. So I think, to me, those are the two like big reasons. Then obviously the third one is the beautiful game, and like, it's just getting better and better, man. The Premier League is the best league in the world. 100. There's no shadow of a doubt, bro. Like, it's the most competitive league out there, and there's a reason why Champions League gives the most spots to the Premier League than any other club, right? Like, you don't get that in none of the other European leagues get that, right? Mm-hmm. So what is the reason for that? I actually don't know what the reason for that. Do you know what the reason for that is?
Well, the extra.
Like, why does the champ? Yeah, why do you get more? Why does the Premier League get more spots than the Champions League?
Do you know what? I think there's various reasons. I think there's definitely one conclusive reason, but I always put it down to popularity of the league and competitiveness of the league to get to those places. Like, I think if you think about it, right, in Scotland, you've got two teams who are dominating, right? They're pretty much going to make it, to the top two spots. But they used to give us 2 spots, then it became 3, and then it became 4. And before it was, top 2 automatically in, and the other 3 and 4 had to play a qualifying. But now it's automatic; you're in basically all 4 spots. It's the league. The Premier League is the most watched league in the world, right? And that's the one that's the most followed because it's so competitive. From team 1 to team 20, anyone can beat anyone. Whereas across all the other leagues, it's not. You got two or maybe 3 teams dominating every other league, which isn't really as competitive, right? And that's where most of the players want to apply their trade in the Premier League. But
why do you think it is? Why do you think it's such a big deal? I mean, it's also a big deal for. It's not only it means a lot to men, right? With the Women's World Cup going on right now. It's crazy how popular that is. I think it's great.
Yeah, definitely. I think. Have you noticed how since last season, since WSL didn't have any. Well, before last season, they never had any like proper broadcasting, right? But last year, I think when Sky Sports, actually bought the rights to it, and it literally, after, and they made the kickoffs just after the Super Sunday game, and people would, they're still creating football, obviously, right? And they watched that, and now the following is just mad. Especially, I think there was a World Cup before that, right? And the Euros, obviously, women winning the Euros as well. 90,000 fans inside the stadium, and obviously,
crazy
people watching it at home as well, and they won it as well, right? That tournament. So it's just building, it's just making the fanfare, and it's just getting the exposure that now it deserves. Like even me and my girls, they automatically think only men play football because I'm watching the male version of it, right? When I watch Super Sunday or whatever games I'm watching, I'm like, well, no, that's not the case. And now my 8-year-old's understanding, oh, actually, no, women do play this game, because it's before there was no, you never used to broadcast it, and barely. There was it was only 10 teams. There's 10 teams, I believe, in the WSL, and you'd only hear about it on Sky Sports when they show you like little snippets of it, and I think on BBC. But now, women are more prominent in the game, and if you look at the presenters, right, especially, and you know what, most of my Asian presenters,
I've noticed that.
Yeah, there's that Reshmin Chowdhury, obviously that Seema just well, isn't it, as well. Across like BT Sports, CBS have Kate Abdo, and they know their stuff about football. They're there deservingly because they're the best, and rightly so. Like even and do you know what? That just shows, that there's more equality coming into it, and they actually do an amazing job. Like Laura Woods as well. Like she's like, if you listen to her podcast with, I used to listen to her podcast when she was at Sky Sports, but now she's at, I think it's BT Sport or whatever. But it's just, I don't know. It's just they've taken it to another level, and it's like fair play to the broadcasters to give them those anchor roles as well, because I'm sure they're definitely the right people for it as well. Because I think that's what's giving it more exposure. Like it's showing other girls, giving them a platform as well in terms of like, what, actually the women's game is up and coming, and it's getting better and better. Look at if you look at some of the goals from the World Cup, even this time round, they are
Lauren
mad.
James, man.
Yeah, Lauren James goal. Oh my god, it was mad. It was
even mad. The one that got disallowed, bro.
The one that got disallowed was sick as well. Yeah.
The other reason that I think why men like it so much is because if you've established ground rules from day one that you are into football, and you are following a team, and you've established that from day one, okay, you can recall that fact on a regular basis and say, I can't do this, or I can't go there because I'm watching the game. and I think it's almost like a permanent, not permanent, but it's like a wild card that you can use pretty frequently, apart from the 8-week gap that you have of a year. And I think for that reason, and sometimes for that reason alone, you're like, yeah. I just want to see how Bolton are doing.
Just to play, yeah, just to watch. Yeah? Even if you don't follow that team.
No, yeah.
You know what? You're definitely right. That it's like you're setting the precedent, but you don't even know you're doing that because
you don't know. You don't know, bro.
And then years down the line, you realize, oh, actually, she's taking this seriously. I'm like, initial, so she'll be like, oh, do you want to go here on this day? I'm like, no, I can't because the team's playing, Liverpool playing this day. So she'll be like, oh, we can't come that day because Liverpool playing. Mick wants to watch the game, and then that person, no, you can watch it here. You can watch it there. And I'm like, oh man, you know what? If it's not, I don't know about you, yeah, but do you like watching a game in a pub, or do you like watching it at home in your home comforts?
I don't know. It depends, man. Like I used to enjoy watching it in a pub. I think when the stakes are high, I prefer to be in my own place. Yeah. Right. Or at one of the boys. Right. Yeah. But then again, I wouldn't want to be at your house if we're playing. That one time it happened. That was a roller coaster, man. Arsenal versus Liverpool, and it was just like I left your house very quickly and very quietly after that game. So I feel like if it's like your run of the mill Premier League game, you could probably watch it in a pub. But if it's like high stakes, knockouts, nah. I'm a wreck. Definitely. I don't want to be in and around anyone. Yeah, definitely. Do you think I scream and shout? Exactly. And it scares people, right? Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like when I watch it at home and my dad's around and I'm a bit too invested and I was screaming and shouting, right? He's like, take it easy. Yeah. I'm sorry na kevai. Yeah. Heart mate na sorry kevai. I was like, I know, you're telling me. You know what? I think when you show passion like that, about something, which is it's effortless to show that passion because you're so into it, right? When you're passionate about something, you don't need to convince the people around you that you're into this. But when you're like not passionate about something, but you think you are, and you're trying to convince them that you are basically, and you have to really convince them by going out of your way. Yeah. You can't do it. It's just So this is the thing. Like even Mrs. Like she now buys into it. Like and then when they're playing. Do you know what? Do you ever get this? Yeah, she always try. I don't know if she's doing it on purpose to wind me up, but when she comes to watch football with me, she always she'll sit down and she knows some of the players and all that, and then she'll be like, "Who's playing? What's the score? Oh, who's that? When did he join?" And then you're so passionate about it. You're explaining to your wife, that's McAllister. Yeah, we just signed him this season because he's going to replace Henderson. And then she's like, "What? Henderson's gone?" Like it's a cereal. Like it's a cereal, bro. Yeah. And I'm like, and then I've gone so into explaining everything to her. I've missed the match, and then she's like, "Oh, okay, Nick, okay, it's too much now. I don't want to hear about it." Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, what? Does she retain it though? Obviously, she does because she knows that Henderson's like. She does retain. I think she does. She does retain it because it's always on in the background, isn't it? Yeah. So she. And then, but I also like they'll come and watch the game, and then she'll be like. I mean, this player's taken a shot from 45 yards. I mean, we all know that those 45-yard shots, 1 in 10 goes in probably, Yeah. Oh, what's he doing? He's so shit. And I'm like, what? Bro, have you ever had to defend your own player, bro, against your wife, bro? Yeah. And I'm thinking, what am I doing? Why the hell do I care if she's called him shit? But it's like, that's how territorial it gets. It's one of those things, man. But I don't know, like, I think... It's nice. It's nice when the other half gets into watching football with you, man. I don't know. The only reason Gogan watches Arsenal play is to watch Mikel Arteta. Oh yeah, fair. I think a lot of reason. Yeah, the only reason. I think any wives of any Gunners fans, definitely that's probably the main attraction. Mikel in his black turtleneck jumping up and down on the southern post and his healthy full head of hair, bro. And his exactly. Yeah. Nah, fair. But yeah, man. So it's back. And it's hopefully it's a good season, isn't it? I guess. But man. What else is going on? How's the week been so far? Week's been good. Parents came over. This is something I observed with my dad. Yeah, go for it. I don't know if you have this, right? But I feel like with Indian parents, or just Indians in general, as they get older, they pronounce fewer letters of the alphabet, especially when it comes to pronouncing things in Gujarati. So, like, if you're calling someone Ramesh, right? He becomes Ramesh. No, he becomes Ramesh.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Why does that happen? Because
I don't know, but yeah,
there's so many, like, he'll just have a full conversation, but all of the H's are missing in that conversation. See, I just did it.
Was that intentional? I thought it was intentional.
No, bro, it wasn't. Am I getting older, bro? Is that what's happening to me?
Maybe your dad coming around today rubbed off on you.
I know.
Controversial. My my brother-in-law, he's now become Kisan instead of Kishan. Kisan. It's true though. And my sister has now become Kusali.
But was she always that?
Yeah, I think so, man. Like, I don't know. You're right, though. Certain things, like, and you know what? This stuff is contagious. Let me ask you a question. Yeah, you're talking about obviously parents like using less. Has your who's had the better English? Your mum or your dad?
Mom.
Yeah, by
100%.
Miles.
By a country mile.
Okay. Now, after spending X amount of years with your dad, and every day, has she inherited some of his dialect?
I don't think she has as much.
Yeah.
I think because she was like an English teacher, right?
Yeah,
so like, I think she holds that. Yeah, she holds her ground. Yeah. But dad is another story, bro.
Yeah.
Like, he just comes out with, you know what it is with him? He will try and, if he's trying to say something to you, in his brain, he'll pick a word that he thinks is the appropriate word and is the word that matches. And then he'll just throw that out and just hope that it makes sense. One time he was in the garden with my nephew and he was just chilling there. And my nephew was just like looking at all of the plants and stuff. And he's like, oh, wow, look, son, look at this. And I saw his face. I was like, he's going to say some weird shit. He goes, look, it's a spider. Wow, look at the spider. And then my nephew was just like looking at it. He goes, wow, look, the spider's got such a big website. And then I think it was the same day or something. My my neighbor's cat came into the garden. Like, it jumped into the garden. And so my dad was like, obviously he was bugging out because my nephew was in the garden. And then he just shouted over to my neighbor. He goes, Nigel, tell your pussy to stop coming in the garden.
Oh, what did Nigel say?
Sorry, mate.
They do. Do you know what it is? The reason I asked you the previous question as well, was because I feel like my mum has, because her English was so good back in the day, because she used to work, obviously, right, over here. And she grew up, a lot of her time when she came from Africa was, obviously she went to school, etc. here. But after, even recently, I feel now, because since they went, self-employed years ago, and obviously she's been spending so much time around my dad, I feel like rather than her having her dialect of English having a positive impact on his, it's gone the other way around. So
he dragged her down.
And I mean, so if I say to my mom, if my mom's giving me directions, she'll be like, you have to go downwards, not towards, downwards, and I'm like, oh shit, it's happening. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many other. That was the first example that comes to mind.
Downwards.
So I'm like, what is going on here? And then it just hit me one day. My dad said it as well, and I was like, oh no, you've dragged her down with you.
You ruined the language. When I'm driving with my dad does not say left and right.
Yeah, what do you say?
You know what he says? Dari baju, mari baju leila, dari baju leila. I'm like, what are you saying? It's so infuriating, bro. Yeah, obviously, man doesn't need that anymore because he's just got sat nav. But you know what? He'll still try and give you directions, even though it's there. Why do they do that? And you know what it is? Man. Also, bro, the other thing, when it comes to parking, right? Why does he have such a strong opinion on where I should park the car? But there's been times where I've been like, one time I actually stopped the car and I said, "Go on, tame chalao gadi. You drive the car, bruv. Like, I am not driving." Why? Why do they do that?
I don't know, man. You're right though. You know what? I think it's because they're used to driving all these years, isn't it? And I think sometimes they feel that you're still their little, young son, and they're trying to guide you in every way possible. They're not. I don't know. I put it down to not being able to let go, bro. That's what it is, isn't it? I don't know. I get the same. Like when I'm in the front, and I'm like driving. My mum. Obviously, we know our way around where we live now, right? But it's like they've forgotten that, and they're still okay. Take a left from here. Take a right from here. I'm like, what are you doing? Or the worst is when they're both in the car, yeah? So you've got your mum in the back, you got your dad next to you, and your dad's like, still wants to keep his authority, and he's like, no, utan lejo. You're in the car, you're actually taking him. But he's saying to you, utan lejo, bro, yeah? I'm gonna take you. I was like, what? And then what happens is he'll direct you, and it probably doesn't go to plan. He's like, no, yeah. And then there's someone in the back saying, no, then. Nah, because my mum's a backseat driver now. She turns into, and then it becomes a bit of a like you get annoyed, and it becomes a bit of a jig moment, and then you just say to everyone like, "Can you stop it now? Mum, can you just like chill in the back?" Okay, I'm not going to say anything. Go on, then take it. Yeah, exactly, bro. It's true that they sulk. Yeah, one of them sulks. The one that doesn't get to give you the direction is the one who's sulking. Yeah, but most likely, and then when you get there. Either if you got there late, then it's like yeah, that's what they say. Or if you get there on time, they want all the credit. Bro, that's how it works, isn't it?
I hate driving though, man. I don't like driving. I feel like it's becoming more and more of a pain in the ass. Especially in London. Yeah. You know what? The thing that's annoying now, those signs where you can't go down those certain roads, the sign itself makes no sense because it's just a red circle and it has a car in it and a motorcycle. So yeah, if you see that sign, you think to yourself, oh, maybe I can go through here. Every time, bruv, I trip up on that. Surely you should have a cross through it. I don't understand.
You know what? It's the timing of what you're saying is somewhere here. But on Friday...
You got a ticket?
Yeah. And it's exactly that. It's a 52M contravention that you're talking about, yeah? So...
Fucking hell, bro.
I'm going to drop some knowledge because this is obviously close to my heart right now, isn't it? Yeah?
All right, go on. Get on your soapbox, bro.
That is the same thing. How are you meant to know you're not... It doesn't have a cross. There's two signs on either side. And they could be saying... And they look as if, yes, they've got a red ring around them and they've got the card, but there's no cross saying you can't go there or something saying do not enter. Or does that make sense? Something to alert you. Are you meant to pay attention to a sign that doesn't give you proper directions or keep your eyes on the road, right? But anyway, a road that we've been taking for years, right? A shortcut when you go over Wandsworth. You know that Wandsworth Bridge?
Mate, that's the one I got. You can appeal it.
Yeah, and you go left. You went left, right?
Yes. Yeah, just after the bridge.
Yeah, and you go through those two little...
Yeah. Bro, I was so angry.
Yes. So
it's in the middle of the road.
It's in the middle of the road. It's basically it's Hammersmith from Hammersmith Council, yeah?
Yeah, I know. I know exactly where you're talking about.
Yeah. I've been taking that road. I'm sure you have as well. I think years, everyone who goes from south to North London takes that road, yeah? And and they're all getting done. You know what it's for? Did you read about what it's for?
They're doing some redevelopment or something, right?
No, they want to test out that area is getting too much traffic and too much but basically out of towners. So people who are living outside of that council
area
are taking that road as a shortcut. Yeah. And and because they're going down those roads of nice houses, you know that road that you go down?
Yeah.
So it's causing a lot of, they want to basically cut that out basically. They want people, unless you live there, you're not allowed to take that road, basically. So that's why they did a 2-month trial in January, and now anyway, so I got done by that. So yeah, So I guess anyone who's passing through, I forgot the name of the road.
There's a public service announcement. But yeah, that road after Wandsworth Bridge that you take on a left before you're going to Fulham, avoid it at all costs. Otherwise, you're going to get a chandalo, as my dad says.
£65 chandalo, which raises to what, £130. Okay.
Yeah, bro. But you can appeal it. You know, the first time you can.
Did you get it rescinded?
Yeah. They rescinded it.
Oh, fair.
I felt so happy. I felt like I got reprieved from a life sentence or something.
Did you send a letter?
Yeah, no, I don't think. I think I just did it online now.
Online? Oh, fair. Have you got a copy of
They
that?
try and long it out. Yeah, I'll send it to you. Bruv, yeah, I've been covering your ass with these kind of paperworks for years. So another thing, Mick's very first CV was a clone of my CV, which was a clone of another person's CV, which I think Sittle also cloned that same CV in that second year of university.
This is how you carry your friend, yeah? Raj will give you tips. Anyone who's got a friend that needs to be carried, yeah? And you're on the verge of dumping them, yeah? Like, don't. Just carry them. See how far they get, yeah? They'll thank you for it later on in life. I think Raj pretty much put me on his back, yeah? He even opened up my first email address for me.
Oh, yeah, shit.
And then,
I did.
Then you made my CV, and then you applied.
And I applied for your job.
And then all I had to do was go to the job interview.
And you got the job.
And I got the job. That's how it works, man. So that's how you carry a friend, yeah? So if there's any friends out there that are contemplating, carrying someone, do it. It's worthwhile.
Do it, man. Yeah, it pays dividends, man. Because I've been reaping those rewards. I'm not gonna lie. I had my question for you.
Go for it.
Okay, so what is an advert from your childhood that has stayed with you?
Oh, it's a good one. The Nike Joga Bonito advert.
Oh,
yeah. That was just like, the Nike one in the airport with the Brazil team from 1998, the 98 World Cup, yeah. Ole, remember the Ole and the Joga Bonito? That was Ole. And then in 2002 World Cup, they had the cage matches. Elvis, remember the Elvis song? Yeah. You had Edgar Davids and you had Henry, Ronaldinho. But anyway, what's yours? I know you got one. Then you probably have a good one, actually. So,
shit, you named some good ones, man. I think all the Nike ones are up there because there's also a nostalgic feel to it. There was one where Cantona was like au revoir, and they were playing against the Demons or something.
Okay.
Yeah, that one was good. I feel like there's an ad. You know what it is, yeah? Mm-hmm. This only came into my head as a question for you because yesterday I went out to buy some juice and I bought Rubicon juice.
And do you know what? As you were just saying all this, I was like, what am I talking about? What did I watch? Clearly, this is the Rupetera Mastana.
Bro, that advert was legendary because, right?
Easy old dad.
The setup for that advert was that you would get pirate movies, right? You'd go to the pawn shop down the road and get like a pirate film that you would barely be able to see what's going on, or there'll be like some subtitles or like adverts all over the screen. Like the actual view of what the movie was like half of the screen because there was all this crap all around it. Someone might stand up in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Like all that was the level of quality that you were getting. And then somehow there was an advert. Somebody put an advert in there, and I was thinking, how it doesn't even make sense. It's a pirate movie. How are you putting adverts in a pirate movie?
Shit,
and the pirate advert was that guy where he's like with his wife. And that advert, I think the advert came on BBC as well. It's not BBC, on like terrestrial. I think so because
really,
because when we used to have like the Mahabharat used to come on Channel 4 or something.
Channel 4,
and I think around those times they would have Indian adverts, and I feel like I could be wrong, but there must be a reason why. Like if you search, because I searched on YouTube, obviously I wanted to remind myself of this advert. Anyway, long story short, the advert is this dad that starts singing about Rubicon to his wife and his kid. And it's that Indian Bollywood song Roop Tera Mastana, but instead he says Rubicon, and then I don't know what. And and I just found that hilarious. And it's crazy that tells you that was genius marketing, because how many years later and that is still ringing in my head.
Do you know what? That's why, like, as in, it's the jam, it's the song and the dad, right?
It's in your head, dad, isn't it?
What do you call that? Your little jingle, isn't it? You call that a jingle. It's like We Buy Any Car. Look at now what they're doing. You know, it's like We Buy Any Cars in your head, or the insurance guy. What's that insurance guy?
Go compare.
You know, that's always going to be in your head now, right? But you're right, it was genius, and it shows you actually they're using these jingles now still in this day. So that shows you how ahead of their time they were back in those days. Even like, what's that famous oil? Was it KTC though? Was it
Pride?
Pride. You can use Pride in your cooking. You can use Pride. Do you
know yeah.
And then there's this auntie
putting in her hair.
Yeah,
bro. You know, if you watch like those Indian channels, right? Like there's so many of those. If you go on Sky, there's at least 25 channels that are just Indian channels.
Yeah,
like lately, go and check. Right, it's insane, and all of them are free nowadays because they just have ads.
Yeah.
All of the ads predominantly are about rice, flour, and ghee, and maybe some other bits and pieces, but the majority of it are your and maybe some lentils.
Those are the staples, isn't it? Those are the staples of Indian cooking, right? Like I went to Tesco to buy my, you know, we don't cook as much Indian food as probably should, but we still get the rice, we still get whatever, you know, the oil, the ghee or whatever, right? And I just went and got it from Tesco. I told my mother-in-law the other day, she goes, "How much did you pay for this bag?" And I was like, what, 15 quid? She's like, "Why didn't you tell me? I would have got it from North London." And do you know what it is? They know, if you forget, that our parents know where to get, you know, where the price is right. For all these three things. But to be fair to you, you're always thinking still, you know, that this will last me 8 months. Bro. Yeah. That's gonna last. Bro. If you think about the cost of each Indian meal that you eat, it's like in the pennies still, or in the pounds, basically, but not much, But those are the staples, isn't it? Those three things that you just mentioned, right, are the staples. And that's why they have, you know, everyone wants to know, you know, every Indian, that's all they care about. Where do you get, it's like bulk buying, isn't it? Literally for everything. But I don't know. I feel like there's so many adverts for that because those are the three staples for Indian food. You don't see adverts for shark, do you?
No, but then what? You're not gonna go just to Wembley to buy some kesar, are you, bro? Because it's cheaper.
Nah, you're not. But it's just I don't know, man. That is true. Those adverts are legendary. Even now, like now, I always think, you know, when there's an advert that comes on, I rarely ever say, okay, you know what, that was a genius piece of marketing right there. You know, like I think the last time I said that was only recently, actually, for Barbie, because I just feel like the marketing for Barbie has been the Barbie film.
It was insane.
Mad. Like people are still dressing up in pink, and I'm just like, where does this all come from? But there's so many channels to promote it over right now.
I mean, they nailed it, man. They absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, like, I mean,
if you think that brand now has bought itself another decade easily, by the movie and the branding and everything behind it, they've just boosted themselves for a decade now. Yeah,
definitely.
At least.
Actually, saying that though, Barbie, right? Barbie has been around since, I don't know, it's been around since we were kids. Yeah. I was speaking to my wife, and then she mentioned to me, there was Barbie, but back in the day, she used to love Cindy. Yeah.
Oh, yes. What happened to Cindy?
Yeah, Cindy got turfed, didn't it?
Wait, hold on. Wait. Cindy was not the same, though, right? It was a different brand.
Cindy was a different brand, yeah. Yeah. I was like, what? I was like, you like Cindy? I was like, was Cindy cheaper, though? She goes, could have been. Must have been.
Every Indian had a Cindy in it because it was Sastal, bro. You got two Cindys for one Barbie, bro.
As soon as she mentioned Cindy to me, bro, for the price of one Barbie on its own, you get Cindy, her house, her car, her airbrush,
and her mother-in-law, bro.
And you get a Ben. What was Cindy's?
What's Cindy's other half?
Yeah, it's not Ben, is it?
I'm going to check it out. Cindy Doll Mail. It was just a Paul. It's called Paul.
Oh, okay. Cindy and Paul, yeah. But do you know what? It's yeah, man. It was just weird. It was just I don't know. How do you differentiate whether you want a Cindy or a Barbie? How?
I think it's gonna come down to cost, isn't it? Did you buy Barbie dolls for your girls?
We haven't yet. I think no, I can't. I think they've got one lying around somewhere, but they're not into it. I think they will be though. I think it was too early for, by the time they were ready for it, it was given to my little one when she was very young, and I think she's like taking arm off.
Has the hype come back though?
Yeah, I think the hype has come back, but it's a PG-12, so we haven't taken to watch it. I think we will take the older one to watch it, but they are into their princesses and things like that, man. The hype is definitely there, but it's hard for Barbie to compete in it when you've got what was it? Oh, what was that film called? I've lost my Elsa and Anna. What was it called? Frozen. Yeah, Frozen.
One of Guggen's favorite movies.
Man. Yeah, that was that. Moana. There's so much, man. There's so much out there now that every brand is competing with.
Disney's killing it.
Yeah, Disney's just another juggernaut, isn't it? It shows how they tap in to the parents as well. It's this magical.
That's what they say. They say that Disney doesn't make movies for children anymore.
Yeah,
they make it for the parents. Because some of them are like pretty deep.
They are
like levels.
They are levels to it, yeah, right. And do you know why they tap into? It's easy to tap into the parents because I think our generation grew up with the real magic of Disney, innit? At the end of the day, right? Whenever we talk about Disney, Mum is like, "Oh, we've got to take them to Disneyland." Disney World, sorry, we know when they're 10, because they there's a certain age that they can all take it all in. But sometimes I think, shit, do we feel more magical about it than they do?
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you ever go to Disney World?
I went with school, but it wasn't like we just went for the roller coasters, man. Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it was the same kind of.
Yeah. Is there's different hype, man? There's different hype to it, I think, with parents, etc. So yeah, man.
All right, I think that's us for today. Thanks for listening. Please continue to support us and share and give us feedback. We have now just created an anonymous online form, so any feedback, anything that you have to share, if there's any topics or stories or anything that you want us to react to, questions that you want us to answer, please feel free to write in. It would be great to kind of get your input to drive some of the topics and drive some of the conversations. Thanks so much again for listening. Mick, any last words, comments?
Definitely want to follow what Raj said, and just want to say thank you to everyone that's listening. We're seeing our numbers grow in terms of listeners every week, and we really appreciate the support and the time you're taking to listen to us. So any feedback, as Raj said, would be great. And if you've connected with any guests that we've actually brought on as well, and great for us to hear that as well, to see who you guys have connected with on when we brought them on our podcast. So in any case, I guess until next time, peace out.
Bye.
Audio.